on the pump. Has a surge in gas prices reignited interest in electric vehicles?
I use more gas cutting my lawn than we do even in our plug-in hybrids.
Desperate tactics.
They'll take a hole saw, they'll drill it in, and they'll stick a pipe in with a transfer pump, and it's done in minutes.
The lengths some resort to for access to fuel. And stripes of strength.
I get a lot of funny looks. I get a lot of looks that are like, what is that?
A Sheepadoodle's makeover with a purpose.
CTV News with Stefanie Masottic.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. High gas prices are a familiar story, but for electric vehicle owners, each price spike is a reminder of why they made the switch in the first place. Here's CTV's Sanjay Maru.
Another day for drivers and another day of high gas prices.
I drive a lot for work and business, so I have to pass this on. This is a business trip. It has to be passed on to the client, which isn't ideal.
But while drivers are feeling the pain at the pumps, there's a growing group of motorists who say these price spikes barely register anymore. Electric vehicle owners.
I use more gas cutting my lawn than we do even in our plug-in hybrids, and no gas at all on our primary vehicles are both pure electric. Both my wife and I drive the pure electric models now.
Pino Mastriani, co-chair of EV Society Windsor Essex, says for many electric vehicle owners, the biggest advantage is not having to plan travel around gas prices.
The cost of charging at home is more than a fifth cheaper than gas today. Driving on vacation, it's at least half the price.
And dealers say each time fuel prices jump, so too do questions about electric vehicles.
The adoption rates had stalled a little bit, but since we've seen this big spike in fuel prices, there's been a huge increase in demand and interest in EVs, and that's translating into an increase in sales as well.
The pitch goes back to the numbers. A typical gas-powered SUV driven 20,000 kilometers a year could cost more than $3,200 annually to fuel, assuming gas prices of around $1.80 a liter. Compare that to this EV, which has an estimated annual energy cost of just under $950, assuming electricity costs of 18 cents per kilowatt hour. It's savings like these which are impossible to ignore for EV owners, especially at this charging station in LaSalle.
This charger right here is free, and so it's cheaper charging here than it is at home.
And GasWizard.ca is predicting some relief at the pumps overnight, with prices expected to drop about 5 cents a liter in the Windsor area following reports of a potential agreement between the U.S. and Iran. But analysts warn global tensions and also the approach of the busy summer season could continue to keep prices volatile through the month of May. Stefanie.
Okay, Sanjay Maru with our top story. So here is our question of the day. Are the high gas prices making you consider an electric vehicle? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you were actively taking part in the Green Bin program. Out of almost 800 votes, 53% say they are taking part. Now, the high price of gas is causing some to resort to desperate acts. CTV's Alex Carpa has that story for us.
Some are turning to unconventional methods to get their hands on fuel, a desperation move with gas prices soaring.
You know, they'll do it right here.
X marks the spot where people drill into fuel tanks with the intention of stealing gas directly from vehicles.
They'll take a hole saw, they'll drill it in, and they'll stick a pipe in with a transfer pump, and it's done in minutes.
Mechanics have noticed a recent uptick in vehicles coming into their shop with gas tank damage, repairing a couple of cars a month.
It's pretty simple, but it's costly. I mean, we have to take the tank out, which on a lot of vehicles is 2 to 3 hours of labor. And then we have to bring it to a special place where they weld them, and then we put them back in.
And the theft is leaving individuals and businesses out hundreds of dollars.
So this is one of the trucks that was damaged.
Juliana Bartel says 2 of the trucks at her business were recently targeted.
We came to work in the morning and tried to fire up a truck, and it was making some weird sounds, so the guys went underneath the vehicle because we assumed our gas tank was drilled. and that's exactly what had happened.
Siphoning gas is the more traditional way to steal gas from a vehicle, but drilling a hole into the pump directly is a faster method.
It's just such a huge inconvenience.
RCMP say this type of theft is relatively common, especially in rural communities. Their advice, keep your car in a well-lit area and have cameras installed on your property. Similar incidents are also being reported elsewhere. Earlier this year, a suspect in BC's interior drilled into a gas tank and stole fuel from a pickup truck. Thefts like this are also being reported south of the border.
It happens fast, and they're in and out.
As gas prices continue to rise, Jansen says he believes this theft could become a bigger issue. Alex Carper, CTV News in Bloom North, Manitoba.
In other news, hundreds of competitive swimmers from across Canada, the U.S. and Great Britain will be hitting the water at the Windsor International Aquatic and Training Centre later this month for the 2026 Speedo Canadian Masters Swimming Championships, an event officials say will draw in an economic impact of $1 million to the area.
From backstroke to breaststroke to butterfly, 748 competitive swimmers from 88 clubs will compete at the 2026 Canadian Masters inside Windsor's Aquatic Centre.
That's what happens when you combine a world-class facility, a strategic geographic location, and a host community that knows how to do it.
Gordon Orr is the president and CEO of Tourism Windsor Essex Pelee Island.
We are seeing a lot of different swim meets come, and that wasn't the intent behind them building the Windsor National Aquatic Training Center, but it's certainly a wonderful byproduct. It was built for the community, and the byproduct and the benefit is that we can also use it to host swim tournaments.
According to the Windsor Aquatic Club, 83.9% of registered swimmers are traveling from outside the Windsor-Essex region, meaning more than 3,200 hotel room nights will be needed during the competition.
The benefit of this group is that they're all age levels, right? So you can get those that want to go and see some gambling at, Caesars Windsor. You get some that want to experience the nightlife here in Windsor-Essex. But I really think our food and beverage, our culinary scene is going to be maximized and very much enjoyed this weekend.
The competition takes place May 22nd through the 24th.
And Windsor is set to serve up some top-tier pickleball action as the Pickleplex Social Club announces the city will host a two-day Canadian National Pickleball League Western Split event. Bob Belichico joins us now. Bob.
Hey, Stephanie, are you ready to play? This is awesome. Pickleplex is going to be the site for 4 of the top 8 teams here in Canada. They'll be here on May 23rd and 24th. It's a showcase. It's part of a tour event that takes place across Canada, and Windsor happens to have a team along with Detroit, and they'll be here, top players in the country, showcasing their talents.
Tournaments here with the young pros. It's going to be super exciting.
Professional pickleball is coming to Windsor the weekend of May 23rd. The two-day event will feature 4 of the 8 teams from the Canadian National Pickleball League, including the Detroit-Windsor Drive.
It's like a regular season, so we're playing for points.
The tour stop includes 5 matches each day, starting at 10 and ending at 4 in the afternoon. A great opportunity to see pro-level play.
Oh, it's great. I enjoy it. I watch it. Every time it's in Toronto or whatever, I'm watching it on YouTube. These things are live streamed every day, every weekend that they're playing.
Wayne Spitzig was an avid golfer who used to play with Mike Weir's dad. He discovered pickleball 8 years ago and hasn't gone back. Spitzig plays tournaments and gives lessons at the Pickleplex.
Tons of lessons. I turn down more lessons than I give. I'm just so busy. I want to play too, right?
The Pickleplex opened a year ago with 8,000 players having come through the door. The game continues to grow with the CNPL looking to be Canada's version of Major League Pickleball in the U.S.
The big franchise from the States called the Pickler has actually moved over to Canada, and that's where we're going to be playing this weekend.
Evan Helinski plays for the Detroit-Windsor Drive, who will be in Toronto this weekend for a tour stop. The 22-year-old is excited to see major U.S. franchises acknowledging Canada's growth.
They noticed that and they're coming over to Canada.
Helinski suggests as the sport continues to grow, so will the interest to play in Canada.
What I would guess is that more internationals are going to be coming to compete in Canada. Yeah, because there's even the PPA in the States that I was telling you about has moved over to Canada as well.
All right, so I got to brush up because next Wednesday here at the Pickleplex, they're having an event that pits the pros against media types like myself. I am teaming up with Gary Archibald, our meteorologist. I'd rather take him on one-on-one and give him a beatdown, but we're going to team up, and I'm forecasting a buildup in the atmosphere And Gary and I bringing the storm. That's what's going to happen next Wednesday. I'll show all that to you on the sidelines next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, Stephanie, I got to go. I got to get some swings in. Back over to you.
Okay, can't wait for the result of that game. Now, speaking of Gary, he joins us now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. And Gary, I can't believe how much pickleball is exploding in our region.
Pickleplex is a great venue, and of course Bob Belichico, as you can see, is moonlighting as a stand-up comedian. Beat me one-on-one in pickleball. Yeah, of course. That's not likely. Just like it's not likely we're going to see any snow today. And that's good because there have been frost warnings of late and close by. Tonight, temperatures down to about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. We're not likely to see it, but even at those temperatures, it could do some damage. There are some scattered showers in the vicinity. Right now, a mixture of sun and cloud, but they are sprinkled about. We'll talk about the chance, a slight chance of rain tonight into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's all coming up shortly. For now, I'll send it back inside to you at the desk.
4 people from Chatham, Toronto, and Scarborough are facing charges after police raided a home on McNaughton Avenue West in Chatham. Officers seized cocaine, fentanyl, 2 loaded handguns, cash, and drug trafficking paraphernalia during the search. Police estimate the damage has a street value of $24,000. The investigation remains ongoing as officers say they continue to target illegal drug activity within the community. Meantime, Windsor police say a 31-year-old man is facing charges after allegedly leaving repeated hate-motivated voicemails targeting members of the city's Jewish community. Police say several anti-Semitic messages were reported by 2 Jewish organizations between late April and early May. The suspect was arrested at a downtown Windsor home. Now, a Chatham Animal Rescue says a charge of abandonment has now been laid after 8 kittens were left tied inside a grocery bag outside of the shelter earlier this week. The story we first brought you yesterday. Pet and Wildlife Rescue says the 2-week-old kittens were discovered outside the shelter after a volunteer noticed the bag moving. Staff described the kitten as overheated, stressed, and say they could have been seriously harmed. The rescue shared surveillance images online and confirms a $365 abandonment fine has been issued. Executive Director Miriam Armstrong says the organization chose to proceed with a charge after reviewing the circumstances. The incident sparked a strong community response, with volunteers stepping up to foster all 8 kittens within hours. The rescue is once again encouraging anyone struggling with pets to contact their organization for help rather than abandoning animals. Police Week is underway in Windsor. Officers focusing not only on crime prevention and recruitment, but also building stronger relationships within the community. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
Police Week is bringing Windsor Police out of the cruiser and into the community.
A great way for us to connect with the community. Officers, it humanizes our officers, it humanizes the profession.
The annual event at Devonshire Mall features displays from specialized police units, recruitment teams, and community outreach officers.
We want to build trust with the public, and we want to be able to do it in an environment where they feel safe to come and talk to us.
Among them this year, the Windsor Police Forensics Identification Unit and Auto Theft Unit.
Auto theft is always a problem and is always a concern for sure.
Windsor Police investigated 478 vehicle thefts last year. Officers say many of them involved unlocked vehicles or had keys left inside.
It's always a problem. In our corner of the province, we don't have the issues that some of the other largest jurisdictions are seeing with the high-end auto theft and the shipping container thefts. And
police say events like this also help strengthen trust between officers and the public outside emergency situations.
Most of the time we're going to people's worst days, okay, and that sometimes may not make them feel comfortable in asking us questions where we're dealing with that matter at that time. So we're here to build trust with the community.
Before we do anything, I want to swear her in with her badge, which is made of chocolate, which was, of course,
the absolute most perfect badge ever.
The opening ceremony also introduced Chief for a Day Victoria Martin, a grade 6 student from St. Gabriel Catholic Elementary School.
I just thought it'd be cool to see what it's like to be a police officer, and, you know, like what they do.
Residents attending the event say the opportunity to meet officers face-to-face is important.
It's important that we as the residents know how to take care of our property.
Police Week events continue at Devonshire Mall through Saturday. In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
The Ontario government is proposing changes to speed up police record checks for people applying to work or volunteer with vulnerable groups. Solicitor General Michael Kersner says the amendments would allow police services to process vulnerable sector checks outside their own jurisdictions during high-demand periods. The province says police services handle more than 1 million record checks every year, over 70% classified as vulnerable sector checks. AM 800 is raising money for Cystic Fibrosis Canada through the sale of custom Breathing Hope t-shirts inspired by radio host Kyle Horner. Horner, who has lived with cystic fibrosis since the age of 4, says recent advances in treatment have dramatically improved his health and quality of life. The longtime broadcaster has also overcome both colon and testicular cancer and says he now wants to use his platform to raise awareness and support for others living with CF. Proceeds from the shirts will go towards research and patient care across Canada.
The shirts are $25, and you can go to am800cklw.com to buy them, just under the featured tab. And yeah, you can pick them up at Hogan's Printing. Really appreciate them being a part of this. Without them, probably couldn't have done this. We have some special pills out there called the Miracle Drug that's really kept me alive. And for as long as I'm on this planet, I like to just continue raising money for cystic fibrosis.
Well, it's not every day a zebra appears to be walking in LaSalle, but a striped sight has caught the attention of many town residents. It's, in fact, a soon-to-be 5-year-old sheepadoodle named Molly. And as Robert Lothian reports, her new look is all for a good cause.
Like a sight out of an African safari, when sheepadoodle Molly hits LaSalle roads, she's sure to catch looks.
I get a lot of funny looks. I get a lot of looks that are like, what is that?
From the mane to the short coat to her stripes, make no mistake, Molly's appearance is intentional.
So it was just a matter of getting a paintbrush and getting the dog dye.
Walking all across town, Molly is helping her mom, Lynn Shalhoub, train for the Detroit Free Press Half Marathon. More than just a new do, her stripes are for a cause near and dear to her family's heart.
We lost my son-in-law in October from NETs, and he was diagnosed when he was 39, passed away when he was 40.
NETs, or a neuroendocrine tumor, is a rare form of cancer, often going undetected early on. It can sit quietly before becoming late stage.
So it doesn't come up very often, but the zebra, because of its rarity, was chosen as a symbol for NETs.
After learning she couldn't take Molly on the half marathon, Shalhoub decided to dye her anyways. It wasn't long before town residents took notice.
Somebody posted yesterday on Facebook, this is kind of what started it. They posted this, you know, I saw somebody walking a dog and that looked like a zebra, and if you're in this group, can you please post pictures of your dog?
Seeing an opportunity, Shalhoub shared her story online, aiming to raise more awareness about NETs. Receiving strong support, she's encouraging residents to take pictures of Molly sightings, and in return, she'll share more facts about NETs, all in a bid to use her son-in-law Russell's story to help empower others.
Everybody is different, but if you are having symptoms of some kind of illness and you're not showing a positive test result, push to be examined for something that is rare.
In the meantime, for Molly and Lynn, it's back to work, training for the big day in October.
Molly, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk?
Robert Lothian, CTV News, Windsor.
Now, do you have an interesting story you think we should cover? Drop us a text at 10400. 3 Canadians in isolation being monitored for the hantavirus. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, just how serious is it? And later, the impact Canada's trade war with the U.S. is having on the alcohol industry down south. Officials are on their way to meet with 4 Canadians following an outbreak of the hantavirus. CTV's Adrian Gobriel with more on this rare virus and the path it's taking.
One of our passengers sadly passed away last night.
Sunday, April 12th, this captain's address informs those on board the MV Honduras that a passenger has died, though there's no signs of an infectious disease on the ship.
It was due to natural causes, we believe.
Rohi Chenet recorded the captain speaking to those on board.
People were socializing with each other. We had our meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all together in the dining room, sitting side by side.
3 people have died since the ship set sail from Argentina a month ago. 8 others are suspected to have contracted the virus. So far, the 4 Canadians who remain on board are showing no symptoms, though CTV News has now learned that 2 additional Canadians are among the more than 24 people from 12 different countries who left the ship 2 weeks ago unaware of the outbreak.
For these 2 individuals, they have been, from day one, monitored and assessed on a daily basis.
Confirmation that a Quebecer who was on the same flight as a passenger with hantavirus is also in isolation. In a social media post, Quebec's Minister of Health saying it doesn't seem like they were in close proximity and the risk of transmission is very low. There are minimal concerns for the wider public, according to the World Health Organization. Hantavirus is usually spread through the inhalation of contaminated rodent droppings and isn't easily transmitted between people.
Given the incubation period of the Andes virus, which can be up to 6 weeks, it's possible that more cases may be reported.
The MV Honduras cruise ship was anchored for 3 days near Cape Verde off the coast of West Africa. It's now located here in the North Atlantic as it travels towards Spain's Canary Islands, where it's expected to arrive this weekend with more than 140 people on board.
Consular support will be in place when the ship reaches port.
Those who remain on the ship have shared that health and safety protocols are now in place, though many have been left to wonder if more could have been done sooner. The World Health Organization clearly stating that this outbreak is different than the COVID-19 pandemic. This is limited to just a small number of people, and currently there's no national or global threat. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
American alcohol has disappeared from many store shelves across Canada as support grows for a boycott of U.S. products. A new poll shows most Canadians back the move. CTV's Abigail Beeman explores the reasons behind the shift in consumer buying habits.
Running a big softball tournament this weekend has Thomas Ray stocking up on Canadian coolers. A boycott of American liquor hasn't changed things for him.
I just stick to what's available and what's delicious. Mostly Niagara Falls stuff.
And you're happy to support Canada.
Super happy to support Canada.
More than a year after provinces started pulling American booze from Canadian shelves and the U.S. made its irritation clear.
It is outrageous that Canada will not put U.S. spirits on the shelf. It is insulting.
It is.
And disrespectful.
New polling by Nanos for CTV News shows most Canadians maintain boycotting U.S.-made goods and travel to the U.S. is helpful to strengthening Canada's bargaining position. 53% believe it's helpful and 29% somewhat helpful. Not much changed when asked the same question in October.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that there hasn't really been significant progress in the trade discussions with the United States.
I don't go there. I have family there. I haven't visited in a hot second.
I won't spend any of my extra money on anything from the United States.
That gives us leverage. We should know we can't give that up.
I think they should bring back American products, definitely. A good bourbon once in a while never hurt anyone.
The American liquor lobby would appreciate that last remark after seeing a 63 to 67% reduction of exports to Canada.
We've seen a reduction in jobs, and small craft distilleries in the United States are feeling that pressure. Some of them are starting to shut down.
But most provinces are sticking with their boycotts. Ontario's LCBO is one of the biggest liquor buyers in the world. 2 weeks ago, the Premier said the alcohol only goes back on the shelves when the U.S. removes their tariffs. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
This summer might be your last chance to catch the Royal Canadian Air Force's iconic Snowbirds. A Conservative MP is warning the federal government is preparing to pause or cancel the Snowbirds program next year. CTV's Graham Richardson explains.
For decades, they've been a Canadian symbol of blue skies and hot summer days. But Conservatives are now warning 2026 will be the last time Canadians will be able to see the iconic Snowbirds for many years to come.
Up front, the Snowbirds are being cancelled. This is the last season.
Told me is the former mayor of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, home base for the Snowbirds. He says the schedule is normal for 2026, but after that, the planes will stay on the ground.
They do our nation proud. And we really need to get behind our Snowbirds. It's an SOS call. It's Save Our Snowbirds.
2 air shows confirmed to CTV they are not booked in 2027 and referred all questions back to the Snowbirds. When asked directly about the future of the program, Defence Minister David McGuinty's office refused all comment. One Liberal MP said cost is a factor.
At what cost? So, I mean, yeah, it's a Canadian institution. Would be sad to see it go, but I'm not sure how much it costs for the Snowbirds.
After our story published online, the minister said this in the House of Commons.
This member surely can't be suggesting he's going to put the pilots, the women and men of that fleet, in harm's way.
In 2021, the government committed $30 million to upgrade the fleet and keep it flying until 2030. It appears the Snowbirds won't make it that long.
This is like maple syrup. This is like, ice cold Canadian beer. This is like, gravy on our poutine.
So why not just replace the fleet altogether once and for all? Well, the cost to do that will be between $1 and $2 billion with all the other government priorities. Aerobatics in the air and a new Snowbird fleet may not be top of the list. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's main stock index finished in negative territory, weighed down by losses in the energy sector. In Toronto, the TSX lost 125 points. In New York, the Dow fell 314, the Nasdaq dropped 33. The Canadian dollar is down 0.05 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $16 an ounce and oil fell 27 cents a barrel. Coming up, growing calls to ban heading in youth soccer over concerns about long-term brain injuries.
Thank you, Brandon Ellis, for sending in this great image. Blue sky and tree. Everything looks so clear, bright, and lovely. Could our weekend, beginning tomorrow, shape up in a similar fashion? We'll find out next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Cool and cloudy out there. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Wasn't a bad day if you're dressed for it. Don't you feel like we're being teased at times this spring season? I mean, we set a couple of records just a week and a half ago with daytime highs in the mid-20s. Now we're in this cooler air. And of course, with that, temperatures are below seasonal. Spring is a time of flux, right? And it will work itself out. We'll get to norms in the mid to upper teens eventually, but only saw a high close to about 12 to 13 degrees Celsius between Windsor, Essex, and Chatham, Kent. Stratocumulus cloud dominated, and a few scattered showers across Michigan made their way into parts of southern central and even southwestern Ontario. The air quality is decent. so that's good. 11 degrees, a bit cooler for our friends in the great town of Chatham, Kent. That's 52 degrees Fahrenheit, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, or 13 degrees Celsius under mostly cloudy conditions at the airport in Windsor. The prairie's warming up. Double digits in Winnipeg and Regina. Calgary's almost 20 degrees this hour, 15 on the Pacific Coast for our friends in Vancouver and Burnaby, BC. And lower double digits, Toronto towards Montreal, Quebec City, St. John, New Brunswick, Halifax, Charlottetown, and PEI. And for our friends in Newfoundland in the mid to upper single digits, like St. John's. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how spring's shaping up. This westerly, northwesterly flow is, well, unsettled. And that's why we are seeing a few showers draped across the region. By the way, yesterday, technically this morning, rather, there were a few flurries across parts of southern Ontario. And frost warnings are in place from London, stretching east towards the GTA and beyond along the 401 corridor. So it is cold and below seasonal. A few scattered showers, about a 30 to 40% chance. That's the story tonight through to early tomorrow morning. But you know what? We will see some sunshine for tomorrow and parts of the weekend. If we do see any rain at all, it's most likely Chatham-Kent towards Woodstock and London. Tonight, we'll get down to about 8 degrees Celsius by midnight and an overnight low of about 5 degrees. So not frosty, but cool. Take a look at our Intercare Styles 7-day forecast. Sunny for the most part Friday, a high of 17, seasonal up to 20, but cloudy, maybe see some showers Saturday. Sunday, Monday, 16, 14 showers to fair, and then Tuesday, fair, cloudy on Wednesday, Thursday, fair weather, mid-teens expected for next week.
A new poll finds most Canadians want social media and AI chatbots banned for kids under 16 years old. The Leisure poll found 70% of respondents say they support age restrictions for social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Nearly the same number support the same policy for AI chatbots like ChatGPT. Overall, more than 80% of people report being concerned about the potential negative impact the services could have on children and teens. Ottawa has promised to table an online harms bill aimed at regulating social media, chatbots, and gaming platforms. With Canada gearing up for the FIFA World Cup, there are calls today for better protection against brain injuries, especially for young players. As CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, the charge is being led by the Concussion Legacy Foundation of Canada.
Kaya Gibson has been playing soccer since she was 4, and while she's a skilled player, she's had several concussions, the worst when she was in grade 5.
I was out of school for like a month and then out of soccer for, I think, over 5 months. It was a long time. So I had difficulty just like integrating back into school, and obviously I was off of screens for a long time, and I think it was mostly hard just from a social aspect.
What's really important for the public to understand is it's not just concussions. The primary risk factor on all this is the repetitive, non-concussive, cumulative impacts that somebody gets over the course of their career.
Former CFL player Tim Fleischer says if he knew as a youth what he knows now, he would have conducted his career differently and reduced the number of total brain impacts he had when he was a kid.
92% of Canadians support stronger rules to prevent brain injuries is an overwhelming statistic.
He's calling on Canada's top sports organizations to bring in strict standards to protect children's brains. Things like no heading the ball in soccer under age 13. Coach Tom Milligan says Oakville Futsal has banned heading for all its players under 18 for the past decade.
So yeah, you'll have the regular soccer or futsal type injuries, ankle, an ankle roll or a knee, might get their knees bumped. But outside that, there's been no head injuries that have occurred here.
Canada is behind countries like the UK in banning youth heading, and Oxford neuroscientist Holly Bridge says for young players, heading the ball is not a big part of the game.
The skill involved in actually getting your head to hit a football, those sort of anticipation skills that the brain needs to learn, actually they're quite difficult.
She says taking it out of the game also reduces the risk of head-to-head collisions that are also a big cause of brain trauma for players. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Coming up on What's Up YQG, we're going to talk about a big birthday bash.
Sorry, I can't focus, Mel. I got to go play in the fountain.
Maybe a big birthday splash. Stay tuned.
A small community paper in Ontario has welcomed an eager new writer, one who is just 10 years old. He's the latest columnist for the local paper, and as CTV's Sean Varden shows us, he wants to give people a kid's perspective on the world.
Mayor Murphy, I've already started that.
Fred Hillier is not your typical 10-year-old. Along with schoolwork, hobbies, and church, he's now the newest and youngest columnist at the Eganville Leader.
I want to be able to tell the world these days through a kid's eye.
His bi-weekly column, Inside Fred's World, offers his hometown of Eganville a unique take from a kid's perspective.
Pretty exciting. It's not something that you see every day, a kid getting to write for a paper.
A good one.
He can write about whatever interests him, and although it can be a lot of work, he hopes his young views will make people think.
I kind of make a list on Google Docs on my Chromebook, and then when I'm done with that list, the next day I write the column. Like this one, I had to make it 530 words or something. It was kind of a little overwhelming.
The Eganville Leader has been part of the Ottawa Valley for more than 120 years. When it was put up for sale in 2024, there were fears it would not survive. But when new owners were found, Fred knew he wanted to be part of it.
When we introduced them in our April 22nd edition, people were actually excited to see someone that young with that kind of an interest. And I know that he's going to resonate well with our readers.
One of my classmates, he's in the same grade as me. He said he read it on the first morning of the column, and he said it was really good.
Fred's next column is about his family's piano, which has been passed down for 5 generations. Also on his list, interviewing the mayor, the fire chief, and letting people know what a special place they call home.
I hope he sticks with it and that we're looking at a couple of years. I think he's got lots of stories to tell.
And while he's currently the youngest, the Eganville Leader actually had a columnist who made it into the world record books for being the oldest news columnist in the world. 96-year-old Al Donahue just stepped away from his role. But from the oldest to the youngest, the Eganville Leader is a paper that brings generations together.
Ever since 1902, the Eganville Leader has been making its people happy or sad or somewhere in between. It feels really important to a kid like me from Eganville.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Johnny Parks from our sister station, 89X, and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, you are talking tonight about a big bash happening this weekend.
Yeah, we're at City Hall Square, and we're going to celebrate the big birthday bash. Now, Johnny, I know you are always up for a party.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good celebratory wiener and some good times at City Hall, right? We're with Samantha from the city here. Can you tell us more about the event?
Yeah, we're excited to host the city's 134th birthday, Saturday, May 9th. It's a free community event, so members of the public are asked to come out and help us celebrate. We're going to be going from 11:30 in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon, and lots of fun happening. So.
And a party usually means some free food.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mayor Drew Dilkins will be there to bring greetings, and members of City Council will join him to cut a ceremonial cake. And then, of course, we have some free hot dogs and some free cupcakes that we'll be handing out. But it's first come, first serve, so we would encourage you to get there early.
I'll be lined up at the crack of dawn. There's also going to be some live entertainment.
Yeah, we've got a lot planned. Looking forward to it. We've got Big Louie in the band. We've got some demonstrations from our recreation department, some Zumba, some partner booths that the community can take part in, and we're looking forward to having everybody out.
Awesome. And I hear there's some free admission to city facilities, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the Windsor Chimchuk Museum and Art Windsor Essex that are offering free admission on Saturday. And then, certainly there's lots of free family stuff for people to participate in.
I was kind of thinking of taking a little splash here, but Adventure Bay also also have some stuff too?
Yeah, you can. The Toucan's actually going to be here for the birthday party. Always a family favorite. And we'll be giving out, or we'll be offering an opportunity to win a family 4-pack to Adventure Bay Family Water Park. And of course, families are encouraged to head over after the party to go enjoy Adventure Bay and all the rides and slides that happen over there.
Great. Well, Johnny does do a good belly flop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every now and then.
We'll make sure to put all the links to that online. Thank you so much for giving all the details. Now, Johnny, there are a few other events going on this weekend, especially with Mother's Day coming up.
Yeah, so much. You can get some butter tart action going on at Denver Homestead. They have a Mother's Day market there as well.
And so many Mother's Day things, brunches and stuff like that.
Willisted, St. Clair, Caesars. There's no excuse not to treat Mom, honestly.
Exactly. But what about for the rock fans out there?
Yeah, if you want to go to Cherry Rock Lounge, they got Twitch and Hysteria, the Def Leppard tributes.
Perfect. So a wide variety of things to do. Thanks again, guys. And that's What's Up YQG.
Fan favorite SNL comedian Marcelo Hernandez takes the Coliseum stage at Caesars Windsor Thursday, June 11th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Marcelo Hernandez and a $200 gift card.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Join us on Saturday, June the 13th for an unforgettable night of fashion in partnership with Fashion Week Windsor Essex, all in support of the Kidney Foundation. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbein. Now, Kate, local high school students are gathering today to celebrate multiculturalism.
Yes, an event called Roots and Resilience was held at Catholic Central High School, giving students a unique learning experience. The school is showcasing cultural pride through traditional clothes, music, and dancing, representing countries from around the world. The celebration also features various foods, giving students a chance to experience global cuisine without leaving the property. Organizers say the event is about sharing identity, building understanding, and recognizing the diverse backgrounds that make up the school community.
The beautiful thing about our school is that we can have conversations around faith and religion, regardless of the faith that our students belong to. Everyone is welcome here. We embrace all of those things, our differences, but also what makes us the same.
We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And a Windsor shelter will not have any job summer positions available this year.
Yes, unfortunately, this is the first time in 15 years the Welcome Centre Shelter for Women and Families will not have positions under the Canada Summer Jobs Program. The shelter is expressing its disappointment, citing these jobs allow local kids to get a minimum wage job and help them develop skills before entering the labour market full-time. The centre's executive director says the program confirmed they were not allocated any money to fund the position. It cannot reapply, meaning any students who have applied for a summer job won't be interviewed further. More reaction is available on our website. And in our social spotlight tonight, an iconic Canadian author was recently seen making her way through the trilliums at Pelee Island, spotting migrating birds. In case you didn't know, Margaret Atwood actually owns a home on Pelee Island and is a founding honorary chair of the Pelee Island Bird Observatory. She and her husband, Graham Gibson, founded the observatory in 2003. She is best known for her books like The Handmaid's Tale and The Blind Assassin. And this is cool to see, especially as someone who's still relatively new to Windsor. I had no idea she had a house so close by.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And you described her perfectly as iconic.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Kate, if anyone has a video at home they want to share with us, how can they do that?
Yes, you can get us an email at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or send it by text to 10400.
Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. Cool collaboration. When we return, rock and roll meets ice cream in a very Canadian collaboration. Chilly today, but the weekend, as you mentioned, looks good.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, it's all right. Temperature's going to rebound just a bit. You know, it's kind of weekend when I can imagine myself retired, actually. Comfortable conditions, right? Some sunshine as we close out the work week. Love that idea. 17 degrees, mostly sunny. Not a complete washout on Saturday, and up to 20, a couple of degrees above seasonal. And then mixture of sun and cloud as we roll into Sunday. A possible shower in the morning. The afternoon looks better. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the average temperature is close to about 15-ish. Still below seasonal, but headed in the right direction.
Okay, Gary, thank you. Michelle, what are you working on for tonight?
Well, tonight we've got Travis Fortnum. He's heading out to the board meeting for the Windsor Regional Hospital. We're going to ask if there is an update on the budget. Plus, there are some interesting items on the agenda, including a new discharge unit and hospital-to-home program expansion. He'll have those details for us tonight at 11.
Okay, a hard-hitting question for you. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Raspberry Ripple.
Off the top. Okay, Gary.
Strawberry.
Simple. I like it. Okay, it may not be ice cream weather just yet, but Kawartha Dairy says it's partnering with the Tragically Hip to create its new flavor, and it comes with a memorable name. It's called the Tragically Chip. It's a mix of maple whiskey flavor ice cream with dark chocolate chunks and a cherry ripple. The Tragically Chip goes on sale in June with a portion of sales going to Breakfast Club of Canada. I will definitely give that a try.
I definitely will, and we drive by that dairy and we drive by Bob Cajun on our way to the family cottage, so I think I'm going to get it right from the source.
I wish we had some at the desk right now.
Yeah, no, it looks
I love
good.
taste testing at the
Eating ice
desk.
cream on TV is not a good look.
It's a nice combination of ingredients. I'm liking that.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
I'll see you then.